Shall we head to my favorite planet in the galaxy? The planet of good vibes. 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 And I'm fired up. You're fired up. We're fired up. We're jazzed up. You're jazzed up. We're having fun. You're having fun. Welcome to the show. And we are blasting off into the galaxy of good vibes in approximately 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Top of the morning, folks. Good afternoon and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Hamm Planet Podcast. I'm your host, Peter Hamm, and if you're new to the podcast, this show is all about good vibes, great people, and glorious stories. So if you're into that type of thing, kick your shoes off, grab your favorite drink, grab your favorite blankie even, or just put this on when you need some good vibes, because that's what we're all about. We have a extremely special guest for episode 18, and I am honored to say that she is making history by being the first lady on the Hamm Planet Podcast. You love to see it. And she is one of the most dazzling and dynamic individuals I've had the pleasure of calling a friend. She is the CEO of Colorblind Design, a creative coding company. She's a proud Baylor Bear, and she's just a great person, simply put, and couldn't be more excited for the show we have ahead of us. So without further ado, we'll hop right into the show. And Steph, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here.
Did that get you pumped up?
Fuck yeah, Pete.
I love to see it. They're just like, oh, Pete's grabbing the microphone. Oh, he's putting on his sunglasses. They're up to something.
The big ones.
Yeah, I got them right here.
Last weekend, I sent everybody that I have on Snapchat to pick me in those.
Yeah.
When I tried them, they all loved them. It was a hit.
Steph, you need a pair.
I'll buy them.
Well, shit.
In pink.
I'll help you get some. Pink is honestly, they ain't got pink. But
They don't have it?
They've got, damn, it's in my room. But, or no, actually, I'll send you a pic of them. But they've got some that are like, there's pink in them. They're
Perfect.
nice. They're great.
They're effective.
They're
truly
effective.
I always buy $10 sunglasses.
I'm a
that
big...
don't. My thing is I just wear them on my head. I never cover my eyes with them.
Yep.
That's why I buy my sunglasses, so I don't spend much money on them.
Yeah, I mean, but I feel like when you're doing that, you're kind of, doing your utilization a disservice. Because, like, you could be blocking, you could actually be shielding all the shit out. I mean, But then again, I like wearing these too, which is like the exact opposite of coverage.
Yeah. Those are the two most opposite glasses you could ever have.
Howdy there, ladies and gents. It's your good friend, Commercial Break Peter, here to remind you this episode is brought to you by Good Vibes and Gallons of Water. Stay hydrated and stay hyped. Back to the show. All right, Steph. Well, enough about the Vipers and the intros. I know we talked about it a little bit this past weekend when we decided that, hey, it'd be a fantastic idea for us to do a podcast. And I'm very happy we're making it happen. we were talking about how you grew up in Japan, And I want to know, like, what all do you remember that was different? What all do you remember just in general from being there? Because, like, to me, I have never been to Asia. I would love to go. Thailand and the other places you listed. Like, I am just counting down the days so I can go, like, experience that. So if you can tell me about Japan, I'd love to hear it.
So I remember all of it because I was like, I think it was the ages 8 until like 7th grade or 6th grade. What grade is that? What age is that? Like 13 maybe? 12?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, probably 12. So I was there for a while during like the important years, where you
Oh, yeah.
do it a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was probably the hardest transition I've ever had to make. And I went to a school where they taught in English, but all the kids were Japanese. So they all spoke in Japanese when like you were out of the classroom, hard to make friends, hated it at first, but it got better once more English speaking people came.
Were you like the first one?
I was the second one. So it's like my dad's company moved like this section to Japan. And so they were slowly moving English speaking families, not necessarily American. They were like Europeans and Australians, but they were slowly moving to Japan.
Yeah.
I was like the second English speaking person, native English speaking, to go to the school. So it was so hard to make friends at first. The only other English speaker was like this guy. And, when you're 8, you're not talking to boys. You're trying to
hell
make
no.
So it was so hard to make friends. But I think it's the best thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life.
Absolutely.
But in a good way, which is it's hard to recognize when you're in the moment. I probably begged my parents every day for the first year to move back to America. But now that I'm older and I can appreciate it, I love that.
So I would absolutely agree that, like, the people I know in my life that have went to go live somewhere that was outside of their comfort zone, that was, kind of a shock to the mind, the body, and spirit, that immerse themselves in a completely different culture at those fundamental ages. It helps. I mean, I feel like it helps with a lot of things.
Definitely.
And like I went to a military academy in Indiana for high school, and I grew up here. I grew up in DFW, Dallas. Shout out Dallas. Mansfield suburbs. But, like, that experience is extremely valuable. And I mean, Japan, holy shit. I mean, I thought Indiana was a lot different. Like, I couldn't even imagine Japan.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard. It took over a year to get used to.
Yeah.
I mean, there are very few similarities between Japan and America, other than the obvious things like language and what the people look like. It was just like the things people liked, the music they listened to, the food they ate, everything was different. And it was so crazy. I mean, even the most simple thing, like taking a train ride. And at the time, my hair is darker now, but at the time I was like this bright blonde. And so sitting on the train, I'd have people come up to me and ask if they can touch my hair. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? And it was the weirdest thing. But I mean, putting yourself, especially at such a young age, into such a weird, different environment, it changes you, but in a good way, where it's like weird things doesn't phase you anymore. It's just like, oh, been there, done that. I know how to deal with this. Whatever.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. I mean, I feel like one of the best ways to learn anything in life is, you have it, you do it, or you have it happen to you, or you go through it, etc. And after that, you know your shit.
Yep. It's like you
Yeah.
get thrown in the deep end, you either drown or learn how to swim.
Yep.
Hopefully you learn how to swim.
Yep. Better understand that floaties aren't always available.
Yep.
All right, Steph. Well, love that you grew up in Japan, and still I could ask 1,000 questions about how was your school there and so on and so forth. But something I wanted to ask you about is Frenemies. One of your favorites.
Yep.
Why should I, or not why should I, could you tell me about this show? And, is it good? Is it a good time? I mean, I've been looking for shows.
So I hesitate to call it good. It's a new thing.
There's other good descriptive words that aren't good, but yeah, I mean,
many synonyms. It's so recently I've been really into YouTube, just watching YouTube videos because I don't have a TV in my room. So it's like just natural YouTube. And somehow it showed up on my feed, Frenemies. It's not even a show, like a YouTube show. It's really a podcast, but they film themselves while they do it.
Yeah.
And do you know who Trisha Paytas is? I feel like you'd know her if you saw
familiar.
her. She's this psycho internet personality. She's got an OnlyFans. She's like the top earner on OnlyFans.
Jesus, Murphy.
And she's been around for
what's her name?
Fucking ages. Trisha Paytas. I don't know how you say it.
I just typed in Trisha and is the first person who popped up.
She's crazy, but she's like the one person who can never get canceled. She does everything wrong, but she can't get canceled because she doesn't care. And then this other guy who runs, I don't know if you've heard of the H3 podcast, Ethan, I forget his last name. They like hated each other when they first started. They had all this internet beef, and they created a podcast basically because they hated each other. And then they became friends, and now she's marrying his brother-in-law. And it's just the funniest, most entertaining podcast / YouTube channel I currently watch. They talk about the crazy stuff. I'm addicted to it currently. It's like she quits every other weekend.
I mean, from what I'm seeing, each one of her Google images, like one is her looking nice and pretty. The next one is insane. Yeah. And then pretty, and then absolutely insane. And then pretty, and then crying or just clown. She got some clown makeup on her.
That's the perfect description of her. She's done.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
I'm sure she's crushing it.
But she's so funny. Like, she's probably one of the funniest people on the internet right now. Whether it's intentional or not, she's brilliant.
If it's unintentional, I mean, you got to respect it.
Right?
Got the natural.
And then if it is intentional, she's fucking
you respect it either way.
Yeah.
You really do. Yeah, I saw there's like a bunch of different episodes, and she's on the cover of a lot of them.
Yeah, she's so funny. And she's had probably the most internet scandals out of anybody on the internet. It's like she went through this whole thing where she claimed she was trans, and everyone was like, "You're not fucking trans." And then she said she identifies as like a chicken nugget, but she meant it. Just all this crazy shit.
But she meant it.
She wasn't joking.
She fully emphasized, like, hey, I'm not dicking around.
This will
exemplify
her personality. She later did an apology video, and she was like, sorry, I was on meth when I said that. But I meant it, that I was on meth.
Hate to see it.
She's clean now, so we're all good.
Okay, good. We We don't want, our good American entertainers on meth.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. Just don't do meth.
Exactly.
That's kind of how
Stay away from meth. New
Yeah.
life motto.
I feel like don't do meth has been kind of in my repertoire of life mottos forever. Kind of proud of that.
Solid level to live at.
Yeah.
Don't do meth.
Yeah. It's always, yeah. Well, I'm going to check out Frenemies. I'm intrigued.
It's hilarious.
So, Steph, I know you put your top 3 favorite places that you visited are Thailand, Vietnam, Nam, and Germany.
Mm-hmm.
First, I want to start. Where did you go to in Germany? And when
God.
was it? And how was it?
So all these places, I was pretty young because it's when I lived in Japan. So my dad's company would pay for us to fly business class from Japan to America twice a year just to visit family and stuff. But my parents traded in the business class tickets for economy tickets to other countries so we could see them. And so
Absolutely.
when I went, yeah, great choice. But when I went to all these places, I was pretty young. So like in Germany, I went to Munich and we went to 2 other places, but I forget what they were called. They were smaller towns.
Yeah.
In Thailand, I went to Phuket and Bangkok. In Vietnam, I don't remember the name of this specific place I went. I was too young.
Still, you went there. I mean, I don't know of any names
I remember it,
of towns
not
in
the name.
Thailand.
Yeah.
Or not Thailand, in Vietnam. I've heard of the places in Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
So which one did you go to? Were any of them super recent or all kind of childhood destinations?
The most recent was Thailand. I went there 4 times, so Thailand was
So like
not too long ago.
Thailand.
Favorite place in the world.
Favorite. That's what everyone tells me that's been there.
So the food is amazing. It's beautiful. The people are amazing.
Yup.
Best place ever.
Literally, that's what I hear every time. And that, like, there's really just kind of a vibe where it's like, hey, be a good person, do whatever the hell you want. Welcome to Thailand.
Yeah, it's a fun place for sure.
When did you go?
I mean, I went many times. The first time I went, I think I was 9. The last time I went, I think I was like 16. I don't remember. It was some spring break, meeting up with some Japan friends in Thailand. But it's just an amazing place. It's so fun.
It's beautiful too, right?
And it's so beautiful. I mean, I guess it depends where you go. Everywhere is beautiful in Thailand, but Phuket specifically, which is, I think it's an island, so pretty. And they have elephants on the beach, and the elephants are just like wandering around, walking into the water. You can ride the elephants. They hug you. It's like the cutest stuff ever. I love it. I need to go back.
Elephants in the water.
Elephants.
That'll hug you.
They're not wild elephants, but yes. Trained.
They're good guys.
They're like
Nice
domesticated.
guys.
Yeah, very kind. Domesticated elephants.
That's amazing.
Feed them some bananas. It's like nothing you'll ever see. It's crazy.
That's magical.
Yeah.
Not bad. I'd love to feed an elephant a banana right now. Like,
yeah.
That would be amazing.
Trust me, it is amazing. And you get to ride them. They do this thing where you like sit on their trunk and they throw you over their back into the water.
What? So we got professional good guy elephants on.
Yeah.
I love it. How much do you have to pay like American to ride these magical professional banana eating elephants?
I wish I could tell you, but every time I went, my parents obviously paid for me. So I have no fucking idea.
I'm sure it wasn't too much. Hopefully.
I would think it's pretty cheap because I mean Thailand is definitely a struggling place. So everything's cheap there compared to America.
Yeah.
I think what you would consider.
It's like, I know at least in the Philippines, like our dollar is like $3, which is.
Yeah, I mean, Thailand and Philippines are pretty close. So I think it's similar. I only ever flew through the Philippines, never actually went there. But yeah, I think it's similar.
From what I've seen, well, Hondo has been to Dr. Honda Rich, who previous podcast guest, shout out Honda. He's been to Thailand and he's always
what's
Peter, you gotta go.
What's crazy is when I first met him at Baylor, I followed him on Instagram, or not Instagram, Facebook, and we had our one and only mutual friend was someone I went to school with in Japan.
Oh, no shit.
Isn't that so crazy?
Yeah.
And he had known her. Didn't he live in
He lived in Malaysia.
Yeah, Malaysia.
Yep.
So he went to school with her in Malaysia after I went to school with her in Japan. And she's the only mutual follower we had.
That's crazy.
Small world. Yeah.
It is a small world. Part of me assumed that maybe you and Hondo and I don't know, do you remember Jeff? He was one of our roommates.
Okay.
But he went to school in Singapore. When you told me that you went to school in Japan, I was like, I don't know. Maybe they might know someone. So that's crazy.
We did.
Yup.
It's wild.
Small world. Small world. All right, Steph. So I want to ask you about colorblind design. I'm super pumped for you. And I know you're going to be crushing it. I'm sure you are crushing it. Give me the rundown. How did you get involved into starting your own venture?
Yeah, it is not at all what I expected or planned, but I went to school. So I graduated with biochem. I meant to go to med school. That was my goal. And I worked at UT Southwestern, which is a hospital here in Dallas, doing some cancer research while I took my MCAT, applied to med schools, etc. And
all
while I was
tough, very tough stuff. Yeah.
Tough but boring.
Yeah.
So I took my MCAT and I was working there and I was like, I don't know if I want to go to med school. I was like, I already took the MCAT, already spent 4 years doing this. I have to. And then after working there, it was so boring and depressing doing cancer research. And I know not all doctors are like cancer, but it's like, I don't know if I want to do this. And then my brother, who he is a software developer also, he was like, yo, Steffi, do you want to learn how to code and do this project with me? I was like, yeah, I hate my job, so I'll do it. So I quit my job intending just to learn how to code some basic shit and then go to med school. But then I ended up loving it. So I kept doing it, kept learning. And we got project after project. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. And then the main project that was bringing in my income, making me money.
Yeah.
They were like, all right, we can't afford you anymore. And we don't need you anymore. So bye. I was like, oh, fuck, what do I do?
Yeah.
I don't have income. So I started my own company because I was like, I'm not doing anything. I might as well get this started before I get my next project. And
100%.
Just kept learning. This was right at the beginning of quarantine. So this was a few months ago. What was that like?
So that'd be back in March, February. So I mean,
that's longer than I thought. Time flies by.
I guess it started in March.
Yeah, so beginning of March is when I incorporated my company, started just setting everything up, got my logo and all that shit.
Yep, gotta get it.
Now we're we're vibing. We're doing great. I got a couple.
I love that.
It's more that I'm shocked. In the past, 10 months or whatever, I've done more than I expect to do in a year or two. So I'm really happy.
You know, I absolutely love to hear it stuff because like there's a lot of people out there who, go through that vigorous, cycle of going to get taking the MCAT and doing their job and then doing it for 10 years or doing it for 20 or doing it for 30 and then being like, shit, it's not fun or it's not what I want to do. Yeah. And like, hats off to you every way, shape or form. Like it ain't easy.
No, I mean, doctors have literally zero incentive to become a doctor. They have to go through so much school. They get so in debt. And then you can't even pay that shit off till like you're 40 or something. I mean, it's just insane. So if you become a doctor, I mean, kudos to them, but you really have to want it. There's so little incentive. And then it's like when you're in college, I feel like they kind of trick you because they're like, you can make X amount if you're a doctor. And you're like, okay, you can make more than that if you do many other occupations, be a businessman, be a developer, be like literally anything
all types
else.
of things.
You're going to make the same amount of money, but you're not going to have the debt. You're not going to have the crazy hours. You're not going to have 8 years of school, 7 years of residency. I just don't get why they make being such an essential occupation so uninteresting. It's crazy. All the smartest people, I mean, unless they are driven to do that, they're not going to because it's so expensive.
I absolutely agree. I mean, I feel like one of the big things is if you're going into medical industry, which shit, I don't know. I'm a media guy, so I ain't an expert on this, but I feel like the people who are gonna be, professional doctors in whatever field, you have to have maybe a bunch of ties or family roots and shit. I mean, even some of those people who it's like, hey, you're next in line to be blank doctor. Mm-hmm. It's like, you got to want it. But if they want it, that's great. Because, I mean, I am going to need some doctors when I'm older. And
yeah, I mean, we'll always need doctors. And the friends, I've got 3 friends right now who all 3 of them are about to graduate med school. They literally from the day they were born were like, I'm going to be a doctor. This is all I want, which is why they're being doctors now. Because it wasn't like they're not doing it for the title or the money. They just genuinely, there's nothing else that interests them. And then I have this other friend who just got admitted to med school and he took the MCAT, I think almost 4 times. He's been out of college for a while, just trying to get into med school. And like, I can't imagine taking that test 4 times. It's like an 8-hour test. It's crazy. So for someone to take it so many times, like they want it. And that's the kind of person you want as your doctor. So kudos to them, but it's a crazy occupation to go into, honestly.
It's tough. I mean, my cousin right now, Ashley, shout out Ashley Graham. She's a nurse and she's like one of the nurses that travel. She works alongside different major hospitals throughout Texas, doing ER work. So, I mean, this is crazy, tough shit. Like people, she's told me all types of crazy stories.
Gross things too.
Yeah. And I'm just like, ooh, I don't know if I could handle that. I don't know if I could, or I definitely couldn't.
Yeah, no. So, honestly, looking back, I could not either. It's so gross.
But, we need them. No doubt about that. We need them. Definitely. So shout out to all our nurses, doctors, and our wonderful dentists that keep us smiling. We love y'all. we will keep continuing to create beautiful creations via digital innovation.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
I thought you were going to say we will continue to hurt ourselves, get sick, and need you.
We will continue to do that too. So keep that in mind. Keep both of them in mind. So, Steph, I know one thing you mentioned that I absolutely love is that you said one of the people you look up to, or is one of your like inspirations, is your big brother, or maybe is he big? Your big brother.
He
it
is
said
my
brother.
big brother. Yep.
Okay, big brother. I love it. So I know you said your big brother helped you get into what you're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
What does he do? And tell me a little bit about Big Bro.
Yeah, I mean, he does similar to what I do. He's a software developer. I do front end, he does back end. But just my whole life, he, like literally since we were little kids, he's always been there for me, believed in me, and done just some crazy stuff that excelled him past everyone else. He's an exceptional but crazy, weird person. And I really look up to him for it. Like he's the kind of guy,
in my opinion.
Like when he was, I think in like 7th grade, he picked up the guitar one day and he just learned how to play guitar in like a week. And I'm talking crazy, like not a week, I exaggerated, probably a couple months. But he just became this amazing guitar player and he started a YouTube channel playing guitar in like 7th grade. And then he got bored of it. So he switched to parkour and he got expelled from school for jumping off a building and somersaulting. Like not
Did he land it?
He like somersaulted it for his YouTube video. Like a parkour guy. And then he got in trouble from our school.
What a savage. I love it.
Right? We're like, he's like, I did it for the gram. And it was cool. Like he just finds these things that he's interested in, then becomes a master in them in a weirdly short amount of time. And then he's like, oh, never mind. I'll move on to the next cool thing. He's an awesome guy.
I love it. What's Big Bro's name?
His name is Mike.
Mike Dietz?
Mike Dietz. Shout out Mike.
Shout out Mike Dietz. I hope you're doing great, brother. Love to hear that you're an inspiration. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of inspired right now too.
He's awesome. I mean, you'll never meet someone like him. With his awesomeness comes a lot of weirdness too, in a good way.
Well, most awesome people got some weird shit going on, but it works.
If you're not weird, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, I feel like, I feel like being weird is like someone's, it can show a lot of confidence, or it can just show a lot of, it can show just a lot of, desire to be who you are and what you feel. And like,
definitely.
Gotta love it. So love to hear that Big Bro is an inspiration. I have a big brother too. Mine's 5 years older, Chris. He was actually my first podcast guest.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh yeah. Yep. And me and him talk almost every night.
I love that.
He's so we both have big brother best friends.
Yep.
I'm big team family, team brother, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Steph. One more thing I gotta give you a quick question about is I heard you went onto a Chicago yacht.
Yeah.
And I'm jelly because
it was so fun.
You gotta tell me about it. Give me the rundown.
It was probably the most spontaneous trip I've ever taken. So I come from Naperville. I grew up most of my life in Naperville, which is a suburb of Chicago. And so like
I know
my childhood best friends all live in Naperville, all three of them. So I have friends here in Dallas who were booking a yacht for a weekend, and they invited us months in advance. And me and my roommate, Tammy, you know, Tammy, we were like,
oh yeah,
no, we're not trying to spend money. We don't want to go, like, whatever, we're going to stay here. And then my friends from Illinois had met my Dallas friends before. So they start texting my Illinois friends and they're like, yo, Marcy Beth, shout out Marcy and Beth, love y'all. They're like, come on the yacht with us. And they're like, yeah, okay, we're down. So I was like, fuck no, my college friends and high school friends cannot hang out together without me. I have to go. So literally, I think it was 3 days before the trip, me and Tammy bought our tickets to Chicago and we went and we had probably the most fun I've ever had on like a US trip in my entire life. It was so fun. It was merging my high school friends and college friends, which is just the best feeling, friends becoming friends. And we just got absolutely shit-faced on a yacht. And it was so fun.
That's like, as they say, goals. Like
total goal.
When I think of having a hell of a time, I would love to be on a yacht, Chicago yacht, shit-faced.
Amazing.
With my friends from one area of, or one chapter of my life and another from another, bring them together. Damn, Steph.
It's
crushing
like
it.
You got the Chicago skyline. It's a beautiful day. You're on a yacht. Everyone's happy. You got your best friends in the entire world. It was a 10 out of 10 experience. And now it's like my best friends from Dallas and my best friends from childhood literally text each other every day. And I think that's like the most amazing thing ever. I love it.
I love it. I love it too. I mean, hey, you did that. So when they're texting and shit and you're around them, you need to be like, hey, let them know that I told you to text you.
Yeah.
Hey, you're the messenger.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. So I mean, I was in high school in Indiana, and a lot of my best friends there got to kick it, be close with some of my best friends down here, and one big happy family too. And when they talk to each other and I'm like not involved, I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, right.
What's going? Come on, like I'm the liaison here. At least CC me or BCC
right?
me.
I've accepted it at this point. Like my friend Megan from back home in Naperville, she'll text my roommate Tammy and be like, hey, come to Colorado. I'm here for like 3 months. I'm like, bitch, what about me? She's like, oh, I figured she'd tell you. I'm like, no. You go through me.
You run through me. It's the way it goes. I've made this connection.
I'm like, well, if Tammy goes, I want to. It's different.
So we got Tammy and Kinsey as roommates.
And Grace. There's 4 of us.
Oh, there's 4.
Yeah.
Love to see that. It's a big house.
Grace currently is quarantined in her room. She's got COVID.
Oh, no. Yeah. She failed a test?
It was the weirdest thing. So her dad is really
COVID sensitive.
Yeah. Like he's careful about it. And he was coming to see her and he was like, first, just get a test, make sure. So she felt fine. She went and got her test and it came back negative or positive. Came back positive. So yeah, now she has to quarantine, which sucks, but
it's tough.
Yeah.
Have you had to take one yet?
Yeah, I took one. So Kenzie and Tammy both had it a couple months ago in the beginning of this whole thing. Yeah. And I had spent the entire weekend with them. Literally, like, me and Tammy lived together. We were like sharing drinks at home, playing card games, like
standard,
always,
things.
All three of us together 24/7 because we were quarantining with each other. So like totally together.
Absolutely.
And they both got it. And I'm like, oh, I don't even need to get tested. Like, I know I have it. But
Yeah.
I was on a flight to go visit my brother a week later, not the one we just talked about, my other brother. He lives in Milwaukee. So I was like, I need to get tested because if I don't have it, I want to go on this vacation. So I got tested and I was negative. And I was like, what the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just built different. I'm immune.
You got the antibodies, which
Somehow.
if you do, you should donate blood. But
Yeah, 100%.
that's asking, that's asking a lot. But, I had to go take one of those tests. I'm not, whew, I ain't going back. That thing
that's
out the nose, I've been experiencing like a headache, but not sick. But I think it's just due to the nose stab.
Yeah.
They need to chill with that shit.
God, when I got my test, so first of all, they stick it up and you're like, oh, that's far. And then they go further and you're like, oh my God, I didn't know my nasal cavity went that far. And it's so uncomfy. But then
I don't even know if it's nasal cavity at that point. I feel like it's
right?
just
What
like
is it?
danger zone.
Danger zone. So then after I got my test, this is in the beginning-ish of quarantine where like the tests were scarce and they were super expensive. So I went to pay and she was like, okay, it's going to be $500. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, well, I have insurance. And she's like, no, you can't use insurance unless you have symptoms. And I had told the doctor in the beginning of my visit, I didn't have symptoms. I was like, if I knew that, I would have said I had symptoms. So Tammy, or it was like either if you have symptoms or if you test positive. So I didn't have symptoms and I did not test positive. So I had to pay without any insurance. And then Tammy had no symptoms, but she tested positive. She only had to pay like $100. I was like, that's bullshit.
You shouldn't have to. This shit. What?
That was
great.
back.
That's messed up.
That's back when they were like, if you're sick, stay home because we don't have enough tests for you unless you're like about to die. So they were very scarce tests, but it was insane.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten it out. Like that's more than the whole reason I got tested was because I wanted to
That's too much. You're trying to be a good person.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to make the trip to see my brother. Otherwise I would just quarantined. I thought I had it. And then I didn't. And I had to pay more than my plane tickets even cost. So I was like, fuck. Now I don't think it costs that much these days. I think it's like $20 now. I'm probably going to my roommate has it. So I think on Friday I'm going to get tested, even though I don't have symptoms because it's $20. But for now, it's like our household is just staying inside.
Well, luckily they can listen to this magnificent episode on Spotify in the comfort and quarantine safety of their room.
This will be our quarantine activity.
Hell yeah.
For sure. We'll just binge all your episodes.
I would love that. I'd be honored. I'll tell you how it started, Steph. I'll kind of give you the run through.
Yeah.
So I've been managing my business, Unify, which we just help businesses grow via social media, for 2 years. So, I'm
awesome.
on, all the social platforms, constantly testing things, trying different, ads and whatnot. And one of the main things we do too is we'll do direct message campaigns for companies, which is great.
Awesome. Yeah.
I'll tell you all about my work, and we'll dive into your work more later, but super hyped to talk about it. But anyways, so I have always been in that media realm. And when quarantine started back in March, I was just like, damn, this is boring as shit. I I need to fly. I need to spread my wings like a peacock, a beautiful peacock with colorful wings, or a swan, or any beautiful creature would like to, and be able to enjoy time with friends. Because at the end of the day, that's what you've got to do. And so, like, I told my brother this because me and my brother were Zoom calling every night, like being like, "Oh, what the hell's happening? They just shut down this shit now, mask, blah blah." This, so I was like, "Brother, tonight instead of us just zooming, I'm gonna record it all, and I'm gonna say it's a podcast."
That's how it started?
Yeah, and we're gonna see where it goes. So yeah, that's how it started.
That's awesome.
And then it was I'll never forget, like, the first episode. So the first few episodes, the audio, the quality ain't to where it is now, which is great. Good to see progress. But Chris and I were just talking back and forth, and I was like, all right, perfect.
That's awesome.
And here we are, episode number 18.
That's amazing.
And Steph, you are the first lady of the Hamm Planet Podcast. And you know what? You're gonna blaze the trail for many, because I gotta say, Steph, I've got a few great friends that are gals, and have wanted them on. Some of them are just, haven't been on a podcast yet, or ain't ready to do a great episode, which they will. But you're blazing the trail for many, because the goal is, by the time I'm 80, if I don't have 5,000 episodes, I'm pissed.
So what do you know? What's the math on that? How many episodes a week for the rest of your life?
So let's see. We've got, 5,000 might be pretty high. Let's see. I'm 52 weeks in a year, right?
I don't know.
So I'm 26 right now. If I live 74 more years, like, that's incredible. Okay. 5,000 out of reach. 3,000 within reach. I gotta live.
So 5,000 it is.
If I do one a week, 5,000 it is. I'm gonna do more than one a week.
The more you do it, the better you're gonna get. The quicker you can get them out.
Honestly,
you get to the point where you hire a couple people.
Yeah, I've got 2 people who work for Unify.
That's awesome.
A Baylor grad. His name's Andrew, good guy. And then also a girl named Jenny. She's a virtual assistant from the Philippines, but she's like one of my best friends. It's insane.
That's amazing. I love that.
And she's like such an OG, and she's great. All right, so this is 70. Is it showing this math?
Yeah.
So this is if I live to 100 and we do one a week. I got 3,048 plus 17. All right, so if I do
You're
two
close.
a week, we're there. We're blasting through it.
Yep, you're past it.
It just makes me think, Steph, maybe just do podcast episodes.
I mean, this is fun. What a job.
It ain't my job. It's my hobby.
This is the hobby.
It's a hobby.
Soon to be job.
I
Fingers
definitely
crossed.
hope so.
Yeah.
I think it will. I think it I think about it a lot because what I'm doing for companies helps them a lot and it's great. But like the most valuable content is being able to talk with someone and have them tell stories about who they are, where they've been, what they've done, all the good, and put it out there.
Yeah.
So, Steph, I don't know if you know, but now you're going to know. We're getting to the favorite part of the episode, the Hamm Planet Podcast, Would You Rather questions.
Ooh, love it.
And this is just like one of the highlights of my week every time I do the episode because I'm a big Would You Rather fan. Same.
It's fun.
I think we got some good ones on tap for you tonight, Steph. Some T's and C's, terms and conditions.
Okay.
We got the first thing. I'm going to answer them with you. So if we need to bounce to another question, because I've got a list of 200.
Holy shit.
We can.
Okay.
If we're in mutual agreement.
Uh-huh.
Or shit. Oh, this isn't a rule, but I've agreed. I keep track. I've agreed with 67% of the Would You Rather. So, I mean, that doesn't matter, but I just like letting people know. It's kind of a mind game.
Got it.
All right. Steph, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you fired up?
I'm fired up.
I love to see it. Okay. Steph, would you rather stay the age you are physically forever or stay the way you are now financially forever? Or, you know what? Next question. I feel like you've got to be, for that question, because I don't even know what I'd pick. I feel like you got to be between 50 and 60.
Yeah, I would choose stay my age forever, for sure.
I feel like that's a no-brainer. It was too easy. All right, we got the easy one out of the way. Would you rather only be able to listen to Christmas songs all year round or only be able to watch nothing but horror movies for the rest of your entire life?
Damn, that's a hard one because I don't really like either that much. But I would have to say horror movies because I just can't give up my music.
I'm with you on that.
I don't watch movies that much. I listen to music all the time. So movies it is. Giving them up.
So you're choosing to listen to the Christmas songs?
No, I'm choosing to watch the horror movies.
Damn, Steph. I can't do that shit. It fucks me up.
I don't like horror movies, but I don't really watch movies that much. So it's like one movie a month that I won't like compared to giving up my entire music library for the rest of my life. Fuck no.
Well, this is Christmas music.
I know. So like I would rather listen to my normal music and watch horror movies than to only listen to Christmas music, but get to watch whatever movie I want.
Yeah, damn. Now that I think about it, like I don't even watch movies.
Exactly.
But, oh shit, this is the rule that I forgot. Everything outside of the sentence or the question is up for interpretation.
Okay.
So which, I mean, that doesn't really, maybe it changes. Maybe it doesn't.
No,
but
it doesn't change it for me.
Yeah. I don't know. Now it's tough. I get swayed a lot on these. I'm keeping my music. I'll watch the horror movies. Grown ass man now. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. You know The Ring? Back when I watched it, I don't know if you've
Uh-huh.
seen that film.
I know. I don't want
Not a good film, especially when you're in third grade.
Oh God.
Jesus. It was my cousin's birthday party.
Hunter?
Yeah, Hunter.
Hell yeah.
Yup. That's crazy shit. Yep, it was Hunter, and Hunter turned 10. I was 9. I'm like 6 months younger than him.
Mm-hmm.
And we were watching The Ring, and it's like 10 of us, you know, we're boys because we're like kids, 9 and 10 and shit. And we're watching The Ring, which is not good at that age. Especially if you're me and you hated that shit. And like scared the shit out of me, Steph. I'll tell you what. I've still never been. It was like some people got, that 1 week of their life where they were just like, shit.
Uh-huh.
What's gonna happen? I'm scared.
That's like, so I have 2 brothers. We talked about my oldest brother, but they're both older than me. The one who's younger than the oldest, though, he watched The Exorcism when he was probably like 8 or 9, and it scared the living hell out of him. But he didn't want to tell my mom he watched it because we weren't supposed to watch those movies. So he like made me, I was younger than him. So he was like, sleep on the floor of my room. So I slept on the floor of his room for like 2 weeks because he told me to. And then finally my mom was like, Steph, what are you scared of? Why are you sleeping in Robbie's room? I was like, I'm not scared. He's scared. And she's like, why isn't he sleeping in your room? I'm like, I don't know. That's a good question.
You're being a good sister.
I was too impressionable. He could make me do anything.
Well, shit, you were his security team when the goblins were coming.
Yeah, it's like, seriously, you think your 6-year-old sister's gonna beat off the demons?
I mean,
you never know.
I love it. I bet you could have took them. They're pretty soft from my experience, from what I've ran into in my time. Well, Steph, that leads us into our second question of the Hamm Planet Would You Rathers, which is an interesting one. Would you rather be in a zombie apocalypse or a robot apocalypse?
A zombie apocalypse, hands down. Robots are too smart.
I mean,
zombies.
I feel like zombies are just kind of, loosey-goose.
They're slow. The only thing working on them is their brain stem. They can't really think. A robot could out.
Yeah.
What?
Well, and their brain stem is like kind of working, kind of not. Who knows?
It's like they can breathe. A robot is going to be smarter than every fucking human on this planet. Fuck no, I'm not fighting that. I would choose zombie every day.
Yeah, I got to go with zombie, even though like zombies are greasier enemies.
They are
like a hand-to-hand tussle would be fine.
That'd be nasty.
Not a good time. But like if we got a robot apocalypse, I mean, just tap me out. Doesn't sound good. Lasers.
We would last maybe a week. Zombies, we could fight them. Robots, I don't know.
Lasers and shit. I'm not in for it. I'm not fighting a robot.
Fuck no.
All right, Steph. Would you rather go back to kindergarten with every single thing that you know now, or be able to know now everything your future self will learn in regards to skills and wisdom?
I would choose the second one.
Yeah.
being how old are you in kindergarten? Like 4, 5? And having the mental capacity of a 24-year-old, you'd be weird. You wouldn't have any friends.
That sounds rough. Now to think about it.
Everyone would be like, oh my God, Play-Doh. And you'd be like,
I'd be like, yo, I'm trying to work.
It's like, what's Bitcoin at? Fuck no.
What's Bitcoin? Yep. Well, that was kind of an easy one. Let's get a better one than that. All right. Here we are. Would you rather always have wet socks for the rest of your life, or always have a small rock always in your shoe for the rest of your life?
God, that one's hard. This is probably the hardest one you've asked so far.
That one's...
I'd have to go.
Give me the socks.
I'd have to say a little rock. I hate sloshy socks.
Well, yeah, that's hard. What rock? What size do we got? Is this a spearhead?
That's true. There's a lot of questions to be asked.
Is this a little lake rock?
And it's like
pebble?
where on your foot is a rock? Is it your heel, or is it like where your foot goes up a little bit? Lots of questions.
Yeah, if it's in the heel, I'll take it. But like,
it's like just tippy toe. I think I'd take the rock though, no matter what, because sloshy socks, they're nasty,
No one wants to let you into their household at that point, I feel like.
Yeah. I'd take the rock.
Yeah, especially when it's like a everyday thing.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, here we go. We got greasy socks coming over. Everyone put on your mask and your scuba suit.
Seriously.
Yep. Give me the rock. All right. Next question, Steph. Would you rather lose all your memories from your childhood, or lose all your memories from the past 3 years?
So when does my childhood end?
I don't know. I wish it would.
I would say lose my memories from my... that's a hard one. I'd have to say childhood. I'd have to.
Yeah.
Because that 3 years, I would lose...
You'd kind of be like screwed, I feel like.
It's like my best friends, I wouldn't remember college with them, or at least my senior year. I'd have to lose my childhood memories. Oh my God, if I lost 3 years, I wouldn't be able to do my occupation.
Yeah,
definitely childhood.
Yeah, I feel like that wouldn't be good.
No, I'd be screwed over.
I love my childhood, but if it comes down to that, got to do what we got to do.
Agreed.
All right, Steph, we got to go one on top. Last one's kind of easy. I apologize for them being too easy. Here we go with this. Oh, give me one sec. Here we are. Steph Dietz, would you rather be able to run 200 miles an hour, or be able to fly at 20 miles an hour?
I think
I love that one.
The obvious one is fly, because that would be cool, but like...
I got to go fly.
I think I would
Flying's
go
flying. I mean, a car
run
can
at
go.
200 miles an hour. I could go from like Dallas to Austin in 3 times the amount of time it would take me to drive. Would I be out of breath? Did you say run?
It says run. I mean, it doesn't say... I don't know. I mean, shit. I would just get a car is a lot easier if you want to. A lot of cars can go 200 miles an hour. And if you're running
without
200
getting a
miles an
ticket,
hour,
without crashing, I don't know.
well, shit. I mean, if you're running that fast, can you get a ticket? Maybe, I don't know.
That's a good question.
Officer.
Could I run that fast without...
Was I running too fast?
If I could run that fast without sweating and without getting out of breath, I would choose running. But if I would sweat and get out of breath, I would choose flying.
Well, one thing you got to factor in too is like, hey, if you're running 200 miles an hour, so like elite Usain Bolt athletes run 37 miles an hour, and he's just like shredded, like just nothing on him. So if you're running that much, I mean, you've got to be eating cheeseburger after cheeseburger after cheeseburger after cheeseburger. But damn, Steph, I got to go fly. I mean, flying, imagine just being at a party and be like, yo.
That's true.
Flying.
It's pretty cool.
It's what I'm doing.
Then it's like you're so slow. You like take off and you're just like,
20 ain't bad.
Just running.
20 ain't bad.
I think I'm going to stick with the running, assuming that I don't sweat.
I'm worried about the food part. But
I think I could make the food part happen. 5 burgers a day for lunch.
Okay, now I'm getting persuaded. I still gotta fly. I gotta fly. All right, Steph. Next one. An intriguing animal-related question. I might say myself. Would you rather talk to animals or speak all human languages?
This is a hard one. I've always wanted to know what my dog has to say. But I would go speak all human languages. I would. I feel like my dog communicates without speaking.
I think so too. I feel like that would be the best reason to do it. Being able to have dog talk. Game changer.
Yeah.
All right, Steph. Last, actually, two more. Fair enough.
2 more is good. Yeah.
2 more is good. Let's fire them up. Here we are. All right, Steph. I've got multiple different variations of lists. I always try and mix them up. I love the would you rathers. All right, Steph. Would you rather live in an amusement park for the rest of your life or a zoo for the rest of your life?
Amusement park.
Amusement park?
What about you?
I got to go amusement park. I feel like if I'm at a zoo, it could end bad.
It's going to smell. You got dangerous animals.
Like I could try and become like Tarzan, friends with the animals and shit. But, you know, the probability of that working out well, not high.
Not at all.
It would be tough. It would be tough. All right, Steph. Here we go. Final question. Last one, best one. Let me get a money one to end us on. There's so many on this list. Always just trying to find a good one. Okay. Steph Dietz, the lady of the evening, making history on the Hamm Planet Podcast. We all are hyped for Steph. Steph, would you rather read minds or accurately predict the future?
Accurately predict the future. I don't want to know what people are thinking about me. Keep that to yourself.
I wonder if like you can turn it off.
Okay, if you can turn it off. So I don't have the self-control to turn it off. I'd listen. Even when I didn't want to, I would listen. So I have to go with predict the future.
I feel like predict the future. You would get rich super quick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. You look at the stock market, you're like, shit, Tesla's about to go up. Buy.
Yep. Well, shit. I hope it still keeps going up.
Right. Same.
I love Elon Musk. Guy's a legend. Guy's a beauty. I hope the stock goes to 1,000. All right, Steph. Well, damn, that was a good Would You Rather sesh.
That was great.
Love the answers. We had some tough ones. We had some easy ones. But Steph, down the line, I gotta have you on an episode again.
Yes, please.
All right.
I love this.
I'm locking it in for a future episode, and it's gonna be
down.
epic.
Tell me when and where.
I love it. It's gonna be epic, just like this one. But ladies and gents, we had a blast tonight. Hope you had a phenomenal evening as well. We're sending good vibes your way. We are toasting to you. And with that, we say salute, adios, sweet dreams. And to conclude, I'll say make sure to show some love to Colorblind Design and Steph Dietz. She's great. She's absolutely crushing it. Gotta show some love, and she would be an exceptional person to work alongside with.
Thank you.
With that, we say salute and